Good evening, everybody, and I'm very privileged to be here as one of the speakers. And the today's topic is tame the mind and free the heart. So. I try to explain about the topic, and mainly from the perspective of Tibetan Buddhism. And just according to my understanding about the topic, tame the mind means maybe some of you maybe don't need any. We don't need to tame, you see. So, including myself, we need to tame our mind, because our mind is still quite wild and not very well behaved. And therefore, I speak from the perspective of my mind. And I'm not going to point anyone to tame the mind, but I just try to speak how I try, and still I need to try. It's a long way to get the mind totally tamed. And what are the things which mind makes mistake, or we get into a very, very destructive sort of thoughts, or that is, I think, one of the area where I really like to talk. And then I will try to speak a little bit about the free the heart. Okay, this is a little bit difficult for me, but then because we don't use like in this way. But of course, I will try. And the best thing is that if you could ask more questions, that will be much better for me, because the audience is very new to me, so I don't know how much I can speak. And also, I'm not so knowledgeable. In this way, we try together, okay? Now, I can start like this. We all have, I can't say all, but most of us have a strong self-attachment. Self-attachment, okay? Self-attachment. I love myself. And I put myself as the top priority. Okay, if I have little money, I'm very, very happy to spend for myself. And if I have to spend my money to someone else, then it's a bit difficulty. The money is so attached and it's so sticky, and I'm ready to spend the money for myself. But then if I have to spend for others' purpose, then it's very, very difficult. And then if we go against this wish, very harsh, then I might get a little angry. So this is how the mind is showing its own way of thinking or mentality. It's showing that, okay, if there's anything nice, I want, okay. And if there's something which is not so good, okay, anyone can have it. So I'm very happy to share. But then if there's something very, very good, okay, so thank you so much. This is, I think, a little bit of our mentality. And therefore, self-attachment is, I think, one of the most terrible or worst source of all our afflicting emotions. And because of our afflicting emotions, then I think we can say that, I can say that my mind is very wild. I need to really give a training to the mind. And first step is that we need to, I need to study. So in what way I need to train my mind? For that, I have to really study, okay, really study and try to read, listen, teaching, a very reliable sort of text, okay, reliable teaching, and then try to analyze by yourself whether this teaching or lesson or whether these are very truthful, okay? Is it really, if I try to use my intelligence to analyze, and then if you find this is a really good, and then you can apply, okay, you can apply just in our daily life. When you started showing strong attachment, or because of the attachment, if something goes against attachment, we start getting angry, and then we have to apply, okay, I should not be like this, you see. I should not be so attached to myself. And just, I have to be more flexible, you see. If there's anything I can share, I really have to practice. Try to share, okay, try to give, try to share, whether it's material thing or it's related with the teaching, so whatever knowledge, whatever, okay, just try to share. Maybe in the beginning, the sharing can be quite small and a little bit disbalanced. And then after time, if we just go on trying, then we will be able to share, and almost like same as if I use the money for myself, I feel good. And if I use the money for others' purpose, also I feel good, you see. And that types of training is very difficult. Maybe from some other side, maybe it looks quite easy, but it is very difficult. And then on top of this, okay, we say, okay, now we have to do more for others than less for one's own self. Then it becomes very difficult, you see, very difficult. Once we were visiting near Dharamsala, there's a cave or lake which is called Padmasambhava's Baba's cave, which is very holy for the Tibetan Buddhism. So I visited with a group of Swedish university students, and the professor was also with us. And then normally when we visit, we try to visit one of the hermit meditator, okay, for many years. We try to see, okay, we don't ask questions, but we just go and see how he lives and what are his belongings, and so we just visit, okay, just quietly we visit, and then we leave the cave. But one day, one of the students said, "Oh, can we ask some advice from him?" I said, we never did. We never did. So we can try. And then professor also stressed on it to say, "Please, Pema, ask him to give us advice and advice." Okay, then I went to him and said, "Will you kindly give all of us an advice?" And he said, "No, I don't have anything to advise." "What can I advise?" No, I don't have anything to advise. And he started going into his cave. He spent there for 39 years. When we met, he spent there for 39 years. And then I said, "You spent so many years in the cave and doing a lot of meditation and practice and also on. And I never did like this. So at least, okay, you can give very nice advice to me." And then he said, no. He started going. And I caught him and said, "Please say something, okay?" And say something. And everyone was waiting, about 15 people waiting. And exciting, they were all excited. They're waiting. And then talking quite a lot. And then he looked to us. Everyone checked everyone's face and he said, "Oh, do less for yourself and do more for others." And then he went in, okay. And then we were analyzing, what is this? And then most of the students, they are not exposed to this sort of thing, you see. So, of course, I know this is the essence of the thought transforming, and this is the essence of the meditation. especially when it comes to the Mahayana tradition. Do less for one's own self and do, if possible, everything for others, to benefit other sentient beings. And then we analyzed, and so it is quite difficult to do every possible good things to every other sentient being and try to minimize the attention for one's own self. And we started feeling afraid. If I started paying less attention for myself and paying so much attention for others, then what will happen to me? What will happen to me? Then I will not be possible to exist. So this is so terrible, terrible. But then we just go on thinking, and if we put a lot of logics and reasons and experiences, if I do more for others, what happens? Less for myself and do every possible, good things for the others. What change is taking place in our mind? Will it make me so attached or very angry, or by reducing less service for one's own self and more for others? What experience do you get? And then we think of I'm existing. I thought that I'm existing by myself. And then actually I'm existing depending upon others. Whatever food we eat, whatever clothes we wear, shelter, whatever, these are all coming from others. Education, again, we have to go to others. Say that, please admit us in the university, or will you allow me to listen to your lectures or teachings, and whether any types of professional training, we have to go to others. And our basic existence, like food and everything, it's again totally coming from others. And there's no way we can exist in a healthy way without depending upon others. So then others are so important, Others are so important and plays a very, very important role. And therefore, there's a reason to pay more attention to others than just simply for one's own self. It makes more sense. If I try to be nice to others, or if I try to help whatever possible, others, and if we aim at that, if I try to help others, so after a few years I will get a lot of things back, then it's also not working. It doesn't work, So I say, I really like to be nice to others without any expectation, without expectation in return, if I do everything for others. And this is also difficult, by step, but also possible. And then through this, and we started getting a feeling that everybody become more friendly, nice, and also give a lot of cooperation. And through this, we achieve much more than paying attention for myself, by me. So in this way, this training of thought transforming, try to exchange, try to train your mind to be more loving and kind towards others, and less be selfish, less selfish. And then, of course, this is the source of happiness for everybody. Therefore, I'm just trying to tame the mind and free the heart in this sort of teaching. Mm-hmm. And then, if we study what is our way of thinking, and then we started, we know this, I think, I don't have to talk, say, I really like to be happy, I don't want to suffer, And then if this is the case for everybody, and then we have to really try, okay? At least me, I have to really try to make others as happy as possible according to my ability. And I try not to harm anybody. Why? Because if I harm, then others face problem, suffering. So if we just speak in short about Buddhism, and the Buddhism says that you have to try not to harm anybody. Okay, that is very important. Try not to harm anybody. When the harming comes out of selfish thinking. So out of selfish thinking, try not to harm anybody. Okay. Very difficult. Because we meet so many people and so many different types of people, and try not to harm verbally or physically or mentally. Try not to harm. It's a very difficult practice. And then by practicing this, and then at a time, you feel like, okay, just not harming others is not enough. So we have to help others as much as possible. Help others as much as possible. And then we started thinking myself and others. And up to today, I have been paying a lot of attention for myself. Now I have to pay more attention for others' welfare. And this is a big responsibility. So I really like to try to make others, try to help others as much as possible. And then try not to harm anybody, okay? Try not to harm anybody. So starting with the try not to harm anybody, if this is successful, and then you say that try to help others as much as possible. So this is the whole teachings of Buddha, okay? The first thing is try not to harm anybody. Why? If we harm, then others become very unhappy. Same as if someone harms me, okay? And I become terrible. I feel very bad, you see. And then if we switch off, turn it, same, you see. If I become very unhappy if someone harms me, and then I have to learn that I really don't want to harm others because others will suffer in the same way as I experienced. And then if someone helps me, and I become very happy, okay, I become very happy. More I get help, more I become happy. So then again we say, okay, so this is really good, you see. So I use my common sense, say that I really like to help others as much as possible. Why? Because others will be happy in the same way as I enjoyed by helping others. So based on this is not very complicated, but this is what we are experiencing in our life, you see, in our life, and then make it stronger and well-rooted, okay, well-rooted. And then we talk a lot about compassion, loving kindness, and then bodhicitta, and wisdom, and tolerance. We speak quite a lot, you see. But main purpose is to reduce selfish thinking, less attached for one's own self, and then to do more for others, okay? To reduce the sufferings of others is very important, and to make others happy is very important. So therefore, to reduce the suffering of others, we try to practice compassion, and then try to make others happy as much as possible without differentiating. And then we try to develop unconditional love towards everybody. So this is, I think, the best way to tame our mind and to make our heart free. Up to now, our heart or, yeah, you can say heart, okay? Not the physical heart, okay? Just we are so attached, almost like we are imprisoned ourselves, thinking all the time for myself, 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 myself. And if we just make it a little bit wide, you see, we feel so opened. Why? Because of compassion, we open our heart and we feel so connected to everybody. By developing love, we feel so open to everybody. Yeah. So in this way, we ourselves feel so free. Okay. By developing compassion and unconditional love, we will really feel very, very free. And there will be not so much sort of bondage, okay, which is so sticky and totally, mind is totally focused on one person, okay, I, one person, okay, just whatever potential the mind has, it's just totally focused on one's own self, which is almost like in prison. And if we just let the mind go for the welfare of every sentient being without sort of differentiating, and then you really will feel so free. So whoever you meet, okay, whether it's white or black or brown, whatever color, okay, whatever nationality and faith, but after all, we all like to be happy and we all don't want to suffer. The only thing we have to do is, up to now, I have been just trying to make myself happy and try to make my suffering less. Now, if we just look to a bigger perspective, say that I really want to try to minimize the sufferings of every sentient being and try to help, try to make others happy as much as I can. So, and this makes our mind totally huge sort of way of thinking. So this training is, normally we say this is a thought transforming training. And or you can say that this training is to cultivate compassion, loving kindness, and bodhicitta. And or you can say that this training is to achieve, ultimately to achieve enlightenment. Whatever you say, it has a lot of logic, and it makes our life very, very relaxed and happy. And so this is the essence of today's topic, I think so, if I'm not wrong. Now we go a little bit like specific, how we can cultivate compassion, and then relate the loving kindness also. I will say a few things, and then I think I will ask you to ask some questions. Yeah, when we try to practice thought transforming, or try to practice to achieve enlightenment, we have two types of practices. Okay. One practice is called equalizing and exchanging method. And then the second method is called 7 cause and effect. Okay. Equalizing and exchanging, in the beginning it looks quite simple, but it is not that sort of simple. The equalizing, okay. Equalizing means, okay, up to today, I have been paying so much attention to make myself happy and to reduce my suffering. Okay, I have whatever energy or potential I have been using this. Okay, I'm now 67 years old. I tried to make myself happy, and I tried to reduce my problem or suffering. And so, if I really think properly, and then how much I succeeded, you see. So, and then at a time we get a little tired of this. Wow, this is so tiring. And the demand goes higher and higher, you see. The demand, I want to be happy, goes higher and higher. And then I don't want to suffer anything. Okay? I don't want to suffer. Even small problem, I don't want to suffer. And for this sake, okay, we do quite a lot of, I do, okay, quite a lot of bad things, you see. So that was, just if we check carefully, it is like this. So now we started, just as I explained in the beginning. So this is not so healthy. Oh, this is not so healthy. Why? Because after all, my basic existence, is totally depend upon others. Because of the others, I'm able to do something. Because of others, I get education. Because of others, I'm healthy. Because of others, I have proper things, everything I have everything's there, but it's all coming from others. And then if we study everyone, including myself, now I'm talking about equalizing, then in the deep down, everybody is longing for happiness, including myself. Everybody wanted to be happy. And then everybody don't want to suffer, including myself. We all don't want to suffer. We all wanted to be happy. And then I have to think that, if this is the case, then why I pay so much attention for only one person? Instead, I think it's better to open a little bit and try to pay more attention to others. Because the potential of the mind up to today is used only for one person. If the happiness get, just only for one person. And if suffering is reduced, this only for one person. So instead of this, I think we're better to do something for more people, you see. Why? Because the happiness achieved will be much more, and solving problem will be much more. This is, I think, reasonable, you see. And therefore, if everyone is longing for happiness and everyone don't want to suffer, then we have to try to think that, everyone is equal, including myself. Everyone is like totally equal, that everyone wanted to be happy and don't want to suffer. Therefore, I should not differentiate between me and others. I will try to develop a mind which will see on equal level, equal level. Plus, we have certain group of people to whom we are so attached, and there are certain group of people we don't like, hate, angry. There's big group of people who we really don't know, we just almost like ignore. So this mentality is not healthy, not at all healthy. So therefore, equalizing means those three different types of people, including myself, Everybody is longing for happiness, and everyone don't want to suffer. So therefore, it's totally equal, Totally equal. There's no way we can say that helping my dear mother is right, and helping someone who's harming me is not right. There's nothing like this, you see, because these two people are just wanted to be happy and don't want to suffer. So therefore, our way of seeing everybody in an equal level is that everyone wanted to be happy and they don't want to suffer. Everyone really wanted to try to reduce the suffering and wanted to try to be happy. Try to be happy. Therefore, from that perspective, we see, and we are totally equal, and we try to meditate on this, try to think, and does it make some mistake, or does it bring some good feeling, or negative feeling, or positive feeling? And try to think this, try to think. If we are able to see everybody on an equal level, this is a big step, Our life will be much relaxed and calm and happy. And so in this way, by doing this practice, equalizing, and you will get a lot of nice feeling. And otherwise, in the daily life, sometimes we become so happy like this, and sometimes we become so angry. Then because of this fluctuation, and then our health is also affected. and we have more sort of health problem. So if we see everybody in an equal level, our health will be also improved. So therefore, this is equalizing. And then exchanging is, you might have done some meditation on exchanging. Is it Tonglen meditation? Have you done? I see, okay. Equalizing, okay? In a very easy way. Yeah. And then when you see everybody equal, longing for happiness and don't want to suffer, in the same way as myself, and see just not bias, okay, oh, I need, not like this, just try to see everybody in equal level, which is very, very profound practice and very difficult practice. When you see this, and then you try to do meditation, say that, okay, and I really wanted to change myself. I have been focusing for myself. Now today onwards, I will try to focus others much more than myself. And through this way of thinking, and then we try to do the practice of exchanging. Exchanging means I really wanted to give happiness to others. And I try to take the problems of others on me. And so this practice, exchanging, why exchanging? Because up to now I have been trying to make myself happy. But today, from today onwards, I try to make others happy. And up to today, I have been trying to remove my problem. So now I just change, okay, I will try to remove others' problem. So through this meditation, okay, of course we can do this meditation through breathing in and out, and then slowly our way of thinking, okay. So when you breathe in, you try to take the sufferings of other sentient beings and try to think that others are relieved from the suffering and try to cultivate compassion. And then you try to give all the good things, okay, whether it's knowledge or practice or material things, whatever, you try to visualize and try to give to everybody. And by giving good things, okay, others become very happy. So through this, we try to develop unconditional love. And so this is this is a meditation, very, very good meditation. Just try to think, okay, sincerely, okay. Don't think that I am visualizing and then try to give, but actually I don't have to give. Then this will not get any training. You really have to sincerely try to do this, okay. Through meditation, okay, visualizing and giving all the good things to others, and others will be very happy, and try to take the sufferings of others, and they will be relieved from suffering. So with this practice, okay, we try to develop compassion, which is strong wish to reduce the sufferings of others. And then giving the good things to others, and we develop unconditional love. That means that love, unconditional love, meaning of unconditional love is try to give, try to make others happy, okay, equal. Don't expect anything. So these practices in the beginning, it looks a bit scary. If we are really sincere and focused, it is quite scary. And then taking all the problems. And if you, when you specify, okay, some dreadful disease, breathe in and take all this disease. And this person who is suffering this will be totally relieved, feels so happy. Okay, and these are, if you do totally focus, very sincere, and at a time you will feel like you are totally changed, you see. Yeah? This is equalizing and exchanging. There's a lot of details, There are many books, many books on this. And I just make it a little bit short, okay? And then Another method is 7 cause and effect. And to do this practice, you really need to have a very good understanding about the rebirth, you see. I have been born, beginningless sort of rebirth. And then when I die, I will be born again. So then we need to establish the understanding or the strong belief after the reason to have like rebirth and the beginningless rebirth. And then by having this profound understanding of beginningless rebirth, and then we can do meditation on 7 cause and effect. The first thing is that through this practice, okay, we try to recognize every sentient being, okay, every sentient being, that every sentient being has been my mother. Therefore, in Buddhism, we say mother sentient being. So every sentient being have been my mother for several times, okay, several times. And they have done. First thing is that every sentient being have been my mother. To recognize every sentient being as your mother's mother, you see. And then, if they have been my mother for several times, the first step is to recognize every sentient being has been your mother, okay? The second one is, if they have been my mother, then during the mothership, father or whatever, okay, they did a lot of nice things to remember their kindness, okay? And then by remembering or to recollecting their kindness, just simply this is not enough. So then I say, I really like to say thank you to them. Repay back their kindness. And then through this, the best way to repay back is first to recognize mother sentient being, and then second, they have done a lot, and then try to build a sense of how I can repay back. And then fourth step is the best way to repay back is to remove their suffering. Compassion. And then one of the best things to repay back is to make them happy, unconditional love. So fourth and fifth step. And after that, we take the whole responsibility, which is called unusual attitude. And after that, our mind changes into bodhicitta, okay, enlightened mind. So when you say only compassion and loving kindness, then we go up to the fourth and fifth level. This practice needs a very good understanding, or even if it is like almost like a blind faith, say that I have been born beginningless and every sentient, even you don't know the reason, okay, it's okay, do meditation, this is true. If possible, you try to study life after and life before. Try to establish, okay, rebirth. Try to get understanding through study and logics and reasons. And then if you understand this, and then I think this practice becomes so effective. And there's no way we can differentiate. Today, of course, my physical mother is the closest person in my life, but then everybody become like this, you see. There's no way we can differentiate. Anybody, okay, everybody became my mother, like my mother in this life. And then our attitude towards others it becomes very good, you see. And very friendly, very positive. And so this is what we call is a 7 cause and effect. 7 causes, 6 are causes, and effect, the result will be bodhicitta or enlightened mind. And this is mainly to cultivate bodhicitta, but on the way we also achieve compassion and unconditional love. Achieve means slowly our mind changes into compassion and our mind changes into loving kindness. And from that stage, and the real happiness, never failing happiness, okay, and it will give immense sort of happiness for everybody and for oneself. And this strong attachment, thinking for myself, is imprisoning ourselves. Therefore, tame the mind and free the heart. Is it okay if I ask you to ask some questions?
Hi. Who would be for Tonglen practice, who makes a better subject if I'm practicing to practice with someone that it's easier for me to feel their suffering and accept, or someone who I don't like and it's very difficult? Which is more profitable?
Very good question. I think the first thing is we have to try to develop equanimity. Okay, equanimity means not to try to minimize the strong attachment towards a group of friends or relatives. Okay, try to minimize this, and try to minimize the hatred or anger towards people whom we don't like. Okay, try to make it less angry, and then through the practice of saying there's a neutral people, big group of people, neither it's totally attached nor a lot of hatred or anger, you see. So we have to bring everybody in the level of same. Yeah. So this is this practice is called equanimity, and I use equalizing another way, but equanimity is very important. That is main purpose of developing equanimity is to reduce the biased mind. Biased mind, okay? Biased mind. If I'm attached to someone, then my mind is totally disbalanced. If I love someone, oh, very good, and oh, I love this person, and this is so good, and then whatever they do, I see it's very good, you see. And certain group of people, if I hate, dislike, then whatever, even they do good things, still we don't like. So then to cultivate compassion towards everybody is not possible, you see. So to make everybody equal, okay, that is called the practice of equanimity. In Tibetan we say Tangyong, okay, equanimity, and then after this, then you do exchange, and then it will be possible, okay, possible. By having this sort of disbalanced mind, and even you do Tonglen, I think this will be not so effective. It will make some difference, but not very effective. Yeah. If you read the book which is called Stages of Meditation by an Indian teacher called Kamala Shila, so he explains everything in stepwise, yeah, more detail.
I have a question. When you're practicing the equanimity, do you take it to the level where you think of all of the other people as that they are me and that I am all of the other people? You know, that we're all one thing?
I will not say that they are me or I'm them. That is, in reality, it is not true, you see. But I can say that if they wanted to be happy, I wanted to be happy, same, they also want to be happy. And if I don't want to suffer, in the same way, others don't want to suffer. And from that perspective, okay, then everybody is equal, you see. Longing for happiness and don't want to suffer. So through this, okay, we can develop, yeah.
Venerable, there's someone who has written in a question, and it's with regards free will.
Yeah.
It's a little free will. I think that the self pushes me to think I have control over goals and products. The will over circumstances. What do you think of free will and the pushing of self by this free will?
Free will, a little bit difficult, you see. And in many colleges and schools, they often ask question to me, saying that, do you have any regret that you were never married? Do you have any regret that you have no biological children? Okay? And I say, no. Why? Because I feel so free. If I have a wife, then I have to be at home almost every night or maximum. And then if I have some money, then I have to ask my wife, how can I use, is it okay if I give $1,000 to this charity work or these sick people? And then the wife may say, not so much. Just you can give maybe 500 maximum, or don't give. We have our own children. We have to educate them. So many expenses, bills are very high. Don't give. Then there's no free will. And then even I have to go for shopping, then I have to think, what I can bring for my wife. And so lipstick, very difficult to buy. And it is not bad, okay? It is like it's difficult, difficult. So if I don't have wife, so I'm quite free to use my money. I don't feel so sort of afraid that if I don't have money, then not. And then there's no sort of obligation to whom I have to report back all the time. This is one freedom. And then another thing is that if I have a biological children, then it's very difficult. I have to educate them. I have to take care of them. If they do something very bad thing, I feel worried. And if they do good things, I become very happy like this, you see. And so instead of like, say, at present I have many, many children, you see. I have been the director of a big school having about 2,500 children. Most of these are displaced or orphan children, see. And I can give my love towards them because I don't have my own biological children, which is I have to love conditionally, and my love is conditioned, and much more to my children than those children, you see. So by not having biological children, I feel a bit more free. Now these days I have many Nepali children, Indian children, and Tibetan children, and they really deserve our care, love, and help, support, education. They really deserve. And then I think I feel very free. Not having my own biological children, I feel more free. So free will is not like doing everything, whatever comes, okay, I wanted to do, okay, this is not a very healthy free will. But free will is that to do something good, you like say, develop compassion and develop loving kindness. We really need a free will. We really need, totally rationalized, okay, with the profound logic reasons. We try to free ourselves and try to do everything possible to other sentient beings. So through this, I think if you say free will, to do whatever good thing to any types of person, you see, any types of person, it's very good. I really don't get the essence or the exact meaning of free will. So maybe my answer is not so accurate, but that is all what I can say.
Well, thank you, Venerable.
Thank you for this teaching. My question is, how do we reconcile the idea that while we can't change the fundamental nature of suffering, how do we reconcile that with acting to relieve suffering and dedicating ourselves to not causing suffering and to relieving suffering, not being discouraged or what we might call getting burned out in the face of so much suffering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very practical question. Burnout or totally exhausted. This issue is very, very common in many places, you see. They often ask this question. And in some places, they come in a different way. Now today, I have a special group of people who are helping so many people. And now they are totally exhausted or burnout. So the topic is always like helping the helpers. Helping the helpers, you see. They have been helping in different fields, helping, trying, worked very hard, and then at the end, they become totally exhausted. And so to re-energize them or recharge them. So now I directly say my view. If you sincerely cultivate compassion towards every sentient being, and without sort of attachment, okay, without attachment, without expecting in return, just sincerely, wholeheartedly, if you try to reduce the suffering of any types of sentient being, just make difference in the lives of any other sentient being, whosoever you meet, whosoever you encounter. And through this practice, you will gain a certain sort of confidence that, okay, now, whosoever I meet, okay, I think I will be able to help reduce their suffering. And that mind, okay, strong mind, is equal, okay. Whoever comes in front of you, without differentiating, I really wanted to help or reduce their suffering wholeheartedly, without any expectations of names or fames or reward or recognition or some salary, or without expectation, okay. If you do purely, and this mind will develop in certain sort of level that this mind is so strong that we'll be able to reduce the suffering, whosoever comes, 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 10, whatever, okay. Some might take a little longer time, some might take quite easily, like short time, but the mind has grown the capacity to be able to help anybody who comes. And to solve all the problems in one day is impossible, you see. But we have to develop the mind. If it is really possible in one day, yes, I'm ready. I prepared myself, you see. And then like generosity or whatever. In the beginning, it may be like in a small scale, slowly develop. And after time, I'm really happy to give any. If it really solves the problems of certain number of people or even one person, okay, I'm really ready to help and give or devote my life. So that is, we develop the mind, okay, mind. And the capacity of the mind grows so strong and so well established. And that is compassion. So that is compassion. And then this will, whenever you meet, then you will be able to help reduce the suffering. And this is equal, that we are practicing that I really wanted to reduce the suffering or sources of sufferings of every sentient being. Every sentient being, whosoever I meet. You see? Without differentiating. Rich or poor, educated, uneducated, black or white, so different, without differentiating. So, I think this is the answer, yeah. Maybe not good answer, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah.
Good evening and thank you. I would like to mention that in Christianity or Judaism or Islam, there is, as it were, a God or a decider. In your opinion, your personal opinion, who decides how you will be reborn, or where there is reward or response to how you have lived? Do you personally believe there's something other than just our spirits, our compassion? Is there something else that you think is beyond, that is intelligent, and that is watching or caring how we behave on this earth?
I respect this sort of idea or philosophy. I respect, you see. And but then when I say my own sort of philosophy or idea, and then we have to decide ourselves. We have to do meditation, develop our wisdom, our knowledge, our experience, okay? And through this, okay, our mind becomes trained and to be better and better, clearer and clearer. And through this we can say that, okay, I can do this much and I will be born in this way. So by doing meditation, our realization or the accomplishment through the mental practice decides where we will be born. Yeah. We don't rely on someone to decide, but instead we take the responsibility where I really wanted to be born, you see. So that needs a lot of practice, a lot of deep practice, okay, really deep practice. And these are all aspects of Buddhism. So.
And when you die in the body, when you die in the body, are you making that decision?
No.
Oh.
If I did all my life, if I did all the good things for every sentient being, and then when I'm about to die, okay, then when I'm about to die, I'm started losing the hope in this life. And then I'm started thinking of what will happen the next. So then all these practices helps, you see. Oh, I don't have to worry. You see, I don't have to worry. This good action or good thoughts relate with compassion, loving kindness, and this is asset, okay. And this will lead me to be born in a place where I will be more useful, you see. We don't say that, I really want to be born in a happy place. We don't say. Where I will be, again, will be very useful, guiding and giving teaching and showing sort of good example. So where I will be, this compassion will lead me there. Yeah.
How old were you when you left Tibet, and were you fleeing the Chinese invasion? And do you ever find it difficult not to be angry and to practice loving kindness toward the Chinese after what they've done to your country?
Yes. So today, I'm a little bit better, you see. But as I escaped from Tibet at the age of 9. And of course, when we were, but still we were lucky that at least we escaped with our parents. My mother, my father, my brother, sister, and my grandmother from my mother's side. So we escaped together. It was like a late evening. Maybe we didn't have any watch. So maybe around 8 or 9. Everybody was quiet. Of course, as a nomad village, the dogs are biting, wow, whole night they bite. But otherwise, all the human beings are quiet, you see, quiet. And then they started, my parents were packing. After lunch, they were packing quietly, and they tried to avoid any visitors from outside the packing. And then when it was quite ready, then they told us that now we are going to a place where there's a lot of toys to play. Wow, that is good, interesting. And I had a very nice white goat as a pet. And she and me are like one person. We sleep together, eat together, and so I share my food with her. Of course, she can't give grass to me, but we share. And then I said, can I take, her name was Ngangji, can I take Ngangji with me? I said, no. I said, absolutely impossible. We are coming back very soon. And then Ngangji also has had a small baby, exactly the same as her, white, very sweet. Okay, so that was quite sad for me. And I hugged in the Tibetan way. We touched forehead each other. I touched forehead. And I said goodbye. And that was the hardest. For me, it was the hardest. It was very bad. And one of the Swedish writer, she wrote a storybook on me for the children. 2 books she wrote. One storybook is called Once Upon a Time There Was a Lake. In Tibet, we used to, not all, but in our village, we used to send 2 or 3 monks to protect the animals or birds when they lay egg near the lake. So we sent a group of monks, erect tent and stay there. They lay egg till they totally hatched. Then they go back. So, and then that story was, once upon a time, there was a lake where the monks are staying in the tent, protecting the eggs. Thousands, you see, especially the swans lay eggs, thousands. Wow. So many. If some wild animal comes, it can destroy like hundreds of eggs, you see. So for that, we protect till they totally hatch and then all the birds are flown. Then the monks go. So that was the story related with my life in summer. And then the storybooks, the name of the storybook is Once Upon a Time There Was a Lake. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Ecologically, the perfect, I think so. Okay, if I'm not biased, you see. It was really, we have never seen any plastics. And we never locked our house, you see. Just no house, it's a tent. We put some stones, just that is like a lock, okay? Put stone. And we go miles, you see, miles. We have never seen any police. And so it was, now I feel a little bit like crying. Maybe it is due to the attachment, or maybe I'm longing, okay, I'm longing something ecologically, environmentally, like that sort of, the waters are so pure, you see, even this very deep, we can count the stone down there, you see. And then lakes, and wherever, water we can take anywhere, like anywhere. There's no contamination. And then second book is called The Only Boy in Red Cloth. The Only Boy in Red Cloth. Because I was always dressed in red and yellow. Because when I was in mother's womb, someone predicted that I will be a boy. Of course, there's no sort of like ultrasound, nothing. He just looked to my mother, said, oh, you are pregnant? So you will deliver a boy. And finally he will become a monk. And he will do something like this, okay? And because of this, and then he advised to my mother, say that don't dress him yellow and black and white or other color. Just dress him with yellow and red. One day he will become a monk. In this way, I was always wearing yellow and red. And my role when we play as a child, my role was like playing monk's role. Reading some scripture like this, and then blessing other boys, and then like this. So that was my role. And therefore, the book, the title of the book is called The Only Boy in Red Cloth. Yeah. So these memories are so profound in me. When I escaped to Nepal at the age of 9, we started drinking water from the river, you see. And then dysentery and vomiting, high fever, and all my family members were sick. And I was 9 years old, okay? I was taking big responsibility. I'm going from door to door to beg food, okay? Please give me food. And then bring, we were staying under a tree. And then I have to cook For that, I have to go and fetch water, collect wood, and then have to cook. It was very difficult, okay. Few months, I have never washed my clothes. I was very filthy. Never had a sort of mattress or thick blanket, never. Just we stayed under the tree, serving my family member who were very sick. I worked very hard, and at a time I get so tired, and I said that, okay, in Buddhism we talk about hell, maybe this must be a hell, you see. But then I started losing hope. But then everything's impermanent. Everything's impermanent means everything is changeable. Everything's changeable. Oh yes, everything's changeable, okay. I didn't have very deep understanding of impermanence, but at least I know that it is changeable. And then I worked very hard. Okay. This created some sort of hope in me that it will change. I am facing such a big problem, which nobody is facing around me. But this also happened due to some cause and condition. And if I go on trying, I think it will change. Then I started stand up and do, many months. It was difficult in period of my life, since 9, 10. And then, my life has been not easy. All the time I was a refugee boy and encountered all these problems. And in the school also we have not so much facilities. My parents were very poor, and I used to take quite a lot of responsibility. And there are so many sad memories. So now someone is writing my life, so maybe one day it will come in English, I don't know. Actually, I don't want to write, but then they force me to. So someone is right, I'm just speaking, and they record, and then they transcribe, and then they bring to check. So it was a big challenge. Because of this, maybe I have a little bit better sort of resistance. When there's a problem, I think I will say that, this is a big problem, but this is really challenging. So I really like to overcome this. Instead of, no, I can't do, not like this. I say, this is changeable. This is changeable. Yeah, this is changeable. I have to work very hard. To make the changes according to my wish, I have to work very hard. It will change into according to my wish, you see. It's possible, you see. The changes are taking place. Every moment it is changing, but we have to give some force that the change will take place in the way we wish. For that, we have to accumulate all the cause and condition. So the difficult life as a Tibetan refugee in Nepal or India taught me a lot to help others practically. And as soon as I see the street children in Nepal or orphan children, and I see, how they experience, because I experienced this. And I think I have a better understanding. Yeah. So in this way, the kicking out of Tibet, in a way, it's very bad and sad. If I think of today, and the environment is so. Once I was receiving some information. It was like 89 or 90. I was receiving information that all the wild animals are gone. I used to see a lot of wild ass, wild horse like ass. In Tibetan we say kyang, wild ass, and big group of blue sheep and rabbits. And in the summer, so many birds come to Tibet to lay egg. It's so beautiful, you see. And now the wild animals are not there. And that was very sad. Of course, monasteries destroyed, so many people killed, destroyed monasteries. Of course, not all monastery we will have, but we can build new monastery. But when it comes to the wild animal, if everything is finished, this is a big problem. So many people wanted to go to Tibet, wanted to enjoy the Tibet, you see. And then I think no one will enjoy in the same way as I enjoy it, which I feel a bit sad, you see. Okay, maybe everything will be totally finished. Now taking everything everywhere and building so many things everywhere, road, railroad, and then like this. So I don't know, it's good or bad. According to my small eye, I say this is very bad. But maybe I'm wrong, you see, it is possible. And so once I wrote to the wild animal, because they come in a more disguised form to shoot. Because these wild animals are also a little bit confused when they come in a Tibetan dress, and they feel a bit relaxed, so they don't run away, easily killed. And so I wrote a poem saying that, dear wild animals, you have a very strong power of what? Smell. Okay? And you have very good eyesight. Just check. If they are smell garlic, we don't eat so much garlic, you see. If you smell garlic, strong smell of garlic, and very clean white hand, even they're dressed as a Tibetan, just run away, don't stay, don't trust, run away, okay, don't trust them. If they are a little bit, hands are dirty, long nail, filled with some dust, okay, and rotten teeth, and look ugly, no smell of garlic, and then I think maybe you can trust. Because we have been living together for centuries, okay? It was very emotional poem, and I really means it, you see, yeah. So now I went so long. I'm sorry. Okay.
There is one more question that somebody wrote in. What to do about people with very strong ideology who feel happy only if everyone follows their religion and who don't mind getting killed or killing others?
So, very difficult question. Very sensitive and very difficult question. So, what can I say? So, we try to stand based on truth, you see. And one of the texts, when we studied, and this text says that rangi tala chakna tishindu shenji tala tukang tokbarni tiji doja kono namjo pati nyudu toba gyuru means even me as a Buddhist, okay, I should not develop strong attachment towards Buddhism. He says, even you are Buddhist, okay, you should not develop strong attachment towards Buddhism. And then you should not develop strong negative attitude towards other religion, other idea or philosophy or view. Don't develop, okay? You just sit in between and try to analyze which is right, which is wrong. Okay, if you have this sort of mentality to see the truth, okay, if you see the truth, not saying that this must be good because it is my religion. This is not the best reason, you see. So just try to stand as a neutral person and try to analyze and try to see the truth. If you have this sense of approach, way of thinking, and then liberation like nirvana or enlightenment is possible. Even you are Buddhist, you are totally biased with your faith, say, this is the best, and for the sake of this, I can do many bad. Then that nirvana or enlightenment is not possible. So we are standing in this way. So I can't say, because I never studied any other religion or faith, so I can't say good or bad. There's no way I can say. I can't put any remark, you see. And what I know is Buddhism, a little. That too is very limited. So it is very difficult to say good or bad. No, I can't say anything. Yeah, as any types of faith, I pay respect because I'm follower of His Holiness Dalai Lama, and one of his mission is to create interfaith harmony. Yes. If I criticize, it's not possible, you see, because I don't have deep understanding of that faith, and there's no way I can criticize. So therefore, I respect in the way His Holiness respect every religion. Whether he believe or not, that is another thing. But respect, you see, because at least any types of faith, they served millions of people. So from that perspective, we pay respect with a pure heart. Not like a politician. Just we pay respect wholeheartedly. And I am a follower of His Holiness Dalai Lama, so I have to follow his footsteps. And he has 3 missions, okay, in his life. He wanted to promote basic human values, to create that whole humanity as one family. If we face problem, we all face problem. If we solve problem, we all become very happy. Not I can't solve my problem only. There's no way we can solve. You see? So basic human values, promote basic human value. And second is he really wanted to create interfaith harmony. He's working very hard. And then try to pay attention or promote Tibetan issue as a Tibetan, you see, as a responsibility. So in this way, I have nothing I can explain. Sorry, yeah.
It looks like we've answered all the questions that they had. So,
so maybe I can ask some questions. We have time.
Yes, we can.
We are getting together. Just this is first time. I don't know. In future, we don't know whether we will be able to get together, or maybe next year I will be no more on this planet. It's possible. So we have to use the chance or the time when we are together, so that I will learn something from you, and then maybe you will learn a little bit from me. So together we will make some meaning out of this, and this is very important. We are talking global and all this, but when we are together, we have to be very, very close to each other and cooperate each other and support each other if this is a really good cause. So therefore, the question I have, always I carry, okay, how we can promote the basic human values, okay? What are the basic human values? What are these basic human values which will be accepted by every human being? And to promote this, okay, to promote this, and then by promoting this, what will be the result? And so this is a question. Because I also take small sort of responsibility, but try to understand what His Holiness says and what he means. And then I also take little responsibility to contribute on this sort of his philosophy. So therefore, what do you think about basic human values? What is the basic human values? I'm supposed to give a talk in Long Island University based on ethics, morality, and in a university, okay, I was giving talk on this particular topic last year, and now again the professor asked us to give talk on this again. So I was recollecting what I talked last year. So is there anything I can change or make it a little bit better? And so that he is a very, very nice professor. So this is question. What is your understanding of basic human values? Okay.
My first thought is what it's not. It's not love of money, which of course is the reigning idea in our culture. Mm-hmm. But
it's
not love of money.
This is not the basic human value.
That comes to my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not. You came on from a completely different. You are right, you see. We love money, and then because of it is a love, but it is attachment. It's a greed. And of course, we can say that we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful, you see. Now, I don't want to say any critical things. We have to be careful. That's greed, okay, greed. Oh, it's really eating us, okay? So much demands, greed. More money, still they need more, you see? Almost like they wanted to, So, yes, it is not based on basic human value. And this is not at all basic human value that I understand fully, yes. And contentment is one of the things, you see, contentment. Whatever we have, just feel so satisfied. Whatever we have. If we have a lot of money, feel happy, satisfied. Even little, still we feel so satisfied. Get a satisfaction, whatever you have. And that is very good, you see. And this will stop the greed. Greed, you see, greed. Otherwise, yes, we will end up in a big disaster, I think so. We all have to think about this. I'm not good at all in this area. I only know a little bit of Buddhism, that greed is very dangerous, okay? It's a destructive emotion. And greed will bring anger also. Greed also brings jealousy. Greed also brings ego. And greed destroys so many things, you see. That is from the Buddhist perspective. Therefore, of course, definitely it is not basic human value. You are right. So, any other friends who wanted to say something? Yeah?
Be quick. My role is twofold. I am a professor of world religions and philosophy and ethics and so on. But in a role, because of that experience, I work at the United Nations on the spiritual values, global concerns. And one of the ideas that's at the United Nations right now, which the Dalai Lama himself came to speak to us, is such a simple thing. But the UN has adopted the 1 World Day of the Golden Rule, so that all of the religions that have come to the UN to speak have agreed to sign that 2 years ago. The Golden Rule being what, of course, we all know, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which speaks so simply to the idea, doesn't it?
Yes.
And so we have the leader of our committee is a Buddhist nun who was ordained in Tibet.
I see.
So it's lovely to hear you. But I think in the end that if we have to simplify it, that in the end all philosophers, all of the teachers at the universities accept the idea that's been brought to us by so many of the prophets and messengers of enlightenment, that we come to be light in the darkness. And the golden rule is to do what you were saying all night, to care about others more than we want to care about ourselves.
I think what should be based on we don't want to suffer. We all don't want to suffer. And we all want to be happy temporarily in the long run. We don't want to suffer temporarily in the long run. We don't want to... It was a group of Swedish friends who came to Nepal, and they went for trekking. And normally we do like a mixed sort of activities. They stay in the monastery, my monastery, and then they visit some of the towns and handicrafts in Nepal, and then they go for trekking, and then they receive some teachings from me, and at the end we do a reflection. One session we do reflection. So what did we learn during this visit? Either by going trekking or visiting some old villages or town or visiting some holy places, receiving some teachings and having interaction with the normal Nepali people. What did we learn? Okay, what did we learn? Because we spend quite a lot of money. And this money has to be spent in a wise way. If we learn something, then it's worth. Just, enjoy it. It's not enough, you see. It's just temporary. Just it remains in the memory. So one of the issue was when they went to trekking, they saw mountain, okay, very big mountain, totally covered with snow and very elegant, shining, and they were so overwhelmed. And they were crying. Some of them were crying by seeing this mountain. They were crying. They're so overwhelming. There's so much energy, so majestic. And because of this, they were overwhelmed, cried, and they asked. So this issue came to the reflection session, and then I said, yes, this is a very important issue. So can I ask one question? Say, did you see the same mountain as I saw when I was crossing the Himalayan mountain in 1959? Did you see the same mountain? They were confused. They were saying, maybe we saw. I said, no. Now these days, many of the photographers, very, very good photographers, they say that the photos taken in 60s or early 50s, late 50s, 60s, 70s, early 70s, at that time, the cameras are not so efficient or sensitive as today, but still the photos taken at that time are much more clear. Really blue sky, white mountain. Today, even we have very good camera, it's so difficult to take very clear picture, you see. That shows that we have done something wrong there. Yes. And now I feel a bit emotional, you see, because now our children, our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, you see, will they enjoy the same mountain as we saw today? Will they enjoy? So we have the responsibility, you see. We have the responsibility. And everyone wanted to be happy, and everyone wanted to enjoy this planet as only home for us. So we have to be very careful. We should not go after the greed, you see. Otherwise, we will pee on our own head. What is this? This is so dirty. But it will be too late. Therefore, I told them that, so we have to pay some attention to this, so that our children, our next generation will be able to enjoy the mountain. You enjoyed, but you didn't enjoy in the way I enjoyed. So we see big difference, you see. Wild animals are lost. All these big rivers are standing big hydroelectric power station, bridges and roads. And so, of course, it also helps, but we have to try to see which one is better. There are so many people who wanted to go to Tibet. Last year was so difficult. Some of my friends planned to go to Tibet, and they are not allowed. The Mount Kailash in the western Tibet was very important last year. It was a very important year. So many people wanted to go, but then they say, no, you can't go. And then, so there are so many people who wanted to enjoy. And then His Holiness wish, His Holiness says that if it is just only meant for the 6 million Tibetans, it's not a big thing, you see. To enjoy the serenity, the calm, peaceful, good environment, mountain, lake, river in Tibet is meant for whole world. We need to create this as a zone of peace where everybody can come and enjoy the compassion, loving kindness, plus beautiful serenity, mountains and rivers. And this is one of his wish, okay? One of his wish, before it is totally destroyed. Yeah. So, basic human values. I think we understood, isn't it? Basic human value is that basic human value. Try not to harm. Yeah. Try not to harm in the name of nationality, or in the name of religion, or in the name of culture, in the name of philosophy, or in the name of caste or creed. So don't harm anybody. Try not to harm anybody. And then, if possible, try to help others. Why? Because if we help, we try to make others happy. We all are longing for happiness. And if we harm, we are adding suffering. But we all don't want to suffer. Instead, we all wanted to be free from suffering. So basic value, basic human value is instinctively, okay, we have longing for happiness. We don't want to suffer. So we have to promote this, try to educate, and try to stand up and say that this is what we want, okay? Yes. And this is our religion. So His Holiness always said that we can survive without religion, but we cannot live without human affection. We can survive without religion, but we cannot live without human affection. We all got affection from the human being. We are brought up with affection, love, and care. And that is what we need. We grow up. So now we have to show this human affection to everybody without differentiating, it's my child or their child. Without differentiating, we really have to show our maximum affection to everybody to protect, okay? I think this is the core of the basic human value, and we all have to speak this, try to promote, try to make it so important, you see.